Stuck on tank duty in the top lane. I want to see him with proactivity and theoretically be able to have counter pick for this one. Renekton taken off the board this time around.
Okay, so they want to try and see if 369 is going to default to, you know, a different tank, more or less, once the Renekton is removed away. I think that is the question being posed here, but with that ban away, things like Lucian still up. It's going to be first picked here for Top Esports over that misfortune being covered and now being locked in by AL. So a change up there, not wanting to give Shanks that, but then perhaps it also gives Top Esports the freedom really to still go double AD, but maybe put the Lucian in the bottom lane, right? JackeyLove, very, very strong Lucian player. Let's go right as well. AL, what they pair with the Draven.
Oh my god! Let's go, Shanks! He sees the Lucian on the other side and slams that Draven. He's played it once before this split. It did not go so well. 0.8 KDA on that loss, but I love the confidence to slam that pick against the Lucian.
Yeah, so do I. Now, Top Esports, surely it's an Ivern angle, right? You just start to go like front to back, really make Draven's life really awkward, get an engage support in even here. If you don't mind dropping your AD prior just a little bit, I feel like there's enough ADs to survive, but Ezreal will be the answer here in the bottom lane. So hope we'll still have a good AD matchup 1-to-1 early stages. Jungle matchup, Croco on this Zyra. So junglers, ADs, and mids locked in here for both these sides as we go to the second round of bans.
Zyra's been banned every other game as well. So Croco grabs that for the first time this series. The Ivern hasn't necessarily been banned every game, but it's the first time we'll see it. New jungle matchup here, plant on plant action. As Brawl taken away, trying to deny the full peel composition. I mean, you could even consider banning something like the Falcon score, honestly. Very, very good at playing that disengage itself.
Yeah, true. I wonder if we see a pull out to the Karma ban again. I mean, I suppose if it's not going to be Kalista plus the Renard, they're going to be less fussed about it. Maybe another anti-Easy. Yeah, so Alistar, that signals to me they want Rell most likely. So, to be Sports ban that away, or do they want to keep on biting into Arla's champion pool? That's the decision I feel like they have to make here. It's Rell or another top laner that they don't want Arla to be on. And you know, I'm getting this weird feeling, and I say weird, it's not very weird, it's Arla. I feel like we're going to see a Jax. Just got a feeling out of anything. Maybe a Gnar. Okay, well, Gnar's banned away, so they do go for the double top lane bans, Top Esports, and that should just be a pretty free pickup for Kael to lock down this Rell. Good synergy with the rest of the big ornaments available through Zyra and through the switch.
Rell's locked in. One thing I want to mention as well is Nautilus has just fallen off the cliff. We've seen so little Nautilus across playoffs. Like earlier in the split, it was Leon and Nautilus every game. Now Nautilus only been picked 3 times, lost all 3 of those games. Doesn't seem like either of the teams today want to lean in that direction. 369 though. Knows he has to go for a blind pick in that top side, and we all know Ksante is pretty much the premium when it comes to blind picking, especially with that Renekton by the way. So we will be locking that in. Let's see what Meiko ends up going for.
Yeah. Ooh. I mean, actually, Khan kind of feels a bit hard here, I think. Draven and Zyra. Bob. Now, Bob could be interesting. I'm just talking about Bob.
It's just Poppy again.
It's just Poppy again. Well, he's been performing pretty well on it tonight. Obviously, last game was a little bit rough. He also didn't really have the stronger AD matchup earlier on, which does make life quite difficult. But maybe he gets a different level of freedom this time around.
It's good.
But what carry is it for Arla?
Oh,
Don't tease us.
Okay, Arla. I mean, this is all you could possibly ask for, isn't it? Arla going old school. We said we wanted carries. He's going 2020 all over us.
Goodness me. All right, well, AL, they've again thrown, I don't want to call it a Hail Mary, but like you say, it's a bit of an Arla classic. So into this Ksante, 1 versus 1. After that first IM specifically as well, it's just going to continue to be a worse and worse matchup for this Ksante. We'll see how he pilots it on that side lane. Top Esports on a side lane timer, but the rest of their composition, very solid. Front to back, double AD, Ivern, 2 tanks. It feels really good, but if this Fiora gets out of control on the side lane.
Yeah.
The game gets awkward, and it gets awkward real damn fast.
Fiora is Allah's 5th most picked champion, and considering how long he's been a professional, the fact it's in his top 5 is crazy. 33 games on it, 60% win rate. He used to be called Natural a long while ago now, and this was one of his signatures alongside his Camille, alongside that Jax as well. This is his most successful of those picks. Let's see. Here in playoffs when it matters the most, Allah wants revenge against top esports from last year, up against his old support of Meiko, and he brings out the Fiora for game 3. It couldn't be more exciting with Shanks bringing the Draven to the mid lane as well. AL are here to answer top esports.
You know, Joe has a Croco.
Good flash from Croco.
Flash. Yeah, really good flash. And it can be hard to flash out of those poppies sometimes.
Yeah. No Hex flash for Meiko as well, importantly. So that is just his flash gone from the laning phase.
Yeah, we'll see how that potentially impacts the 2v2. And how it... Realistically, I feel like it limits Meiko's ability to make plays in the 2v2, right? His overall setup. I've got to say, Joe, those gyros, just for a second before we start to break down the game.
Yeah.
AL fans a little bit more awake.
Yeah.
Feeling it after game number 2.
Some of the top esports fans converted, perhaps.
Yeah.
after that second game, sorry. AL answering back, but that was on the blue side, and I'm curious if they can do it on the other side of the map. But I love what they've drafted. I love that they went counter pick mid, counter pick top, Croco on the Zyra as well, starting on that bottom side. So expect presence from Croco on that top side early on. He has the ability to influence these lanes just because of how fast he can clear through the map.
Oh, yeah. Let's see how much tempo you can build up. Especially, you know, Ivern's a bit of a odd champion in how he clears the jungle. He's got to mark the camps and return back to them.
Oh, look at this lane!
Oh.
Look at this from Allah! It's level 1! 369's barely entered the lane, and Allah's already got him to 200 HP. Flash available
Absolutely
for
perfect.
Allah, so you've got to be careful on those vitals. Allah's going again. He's got grasp ready.
Yeah, he wants it.
He wants it so bad. Will proc his grasp and just continuously hitting away on 369 with level 2. 369's just got to get straight out of there.
Yeah, and it's the full lane setup. Scorch grasp. These Q procs just hurt so much more every single time you go in. And the vitals really did favor him as well as he was looking for those trades. Kept on cycling to the perfect side.
It's the level 1 positioning as well, where he literally just walks behind 369. It's like there's no way out of this lane without fighting me, and just knows how hard he'll win that 1v1. Tian up on that top side. His red buff and his Croc still up, so he's going to have to path down as Croco finishes his last camp. He skipped his Wolves and his Gromp to be up on this top side a little bit faster. Perhaps we'll just path straight back down again. I mean, I don't...
Yeah.
Is there any...
So Croco did blue and then invaded the Raptors. It's kind of a common path into Ivern. Getting one of those, like, cheap camps out, just because, of course, Ivern can't really play the jungle like a normal champion. So it's a bit of a freebie, and he's going to put himself a camp up. So that's why his initial path looks a bit strange, but Zyra's so quick, she's still going to be pretty much on time for a scuttle almost.
I was too distracted by the Fiora shenanigans in the top side. 369. Just to get a level advantage there, and so Allah has to back away for just a little bit. Tian spending a lot of time in this mid lane as he paths through back again and moves up towards this top side to get himself a scuttle crab. Croco finishes off that Cromp. So Croco off to a pretty reasonable lead in the jungle to start us off.
Yep, absolutely. I expect to see 1-to-1 against Tian here. He should continue to grow a lead, and a very substantial one at that. Just the nature of the jungle matchup as Croco. He's hanging around the spot side.
AL sets up onto JackeyLove, but they're underneath the tower, and Meiko dodges away from the roots. Ignite is there though, and Hope has the damage to finish the job. Ignite from Kael for first blood.
Yeah, I had my eyes there on whether or not the root was going to connect onto JackeyLove, but Meiko is the victim of this gank. Forces him backwards and just doesn't have enough space, and that flash from level 1.
Yeah.
is being
And that was
punished
at
now
Croco.
by AL.
That was at Croco.
Yeah.
Croco
Yeah.
punishes it. Revenge.
Feels good, man. As AL, first blood. And we'll see if they can continue to find these incremental leads here and there. And it's really good for that 2v2 on the bottom side. Misfortune getting her ahead just in that 2v2. Very, very important. Speaking of getting ahead and it being important, this Draven lane, eventually, you would like to see, best case, a big old cash-in.
Yes, you would. Vamp Scepter picked up for Shanks as well now, so he can very confidently trade with Creme in the mid lane. Not really worrying about taking damage back. Croco moves to the top side as 369. Looks for a combo onto Ala, dodges away from the riposte, but could be in trouble. Oh! Nice prediction from Croco, but it's just a tiny bit too short.
I could have sworn that I saw the particles actually touch 369, but the actual root itself did not, unfortunately. That one does. And now, speaking of roots, another tree.
Tian moves up.
To battle it out.
I don't think Tian's hit a root just yet. AL doing a good job of reading those skill shots and dodging them. It's a 1,000 gold lead for AL at just the 5 3/4 minute mark. Don't think anyone's ever pointed out the 5 3/4 minute mark in League of Legends before, but here we go. 369 with an all-out onto Ala. He's not even level 6 just yet. And guess what? 2 supports have entered the top lane as well. Meiko flashes to grab himself a kill.
Yeah, it's a grub rotation coming out here from Top Esports, and AL ready for it, but they just haven't committed Hope up there. So Hope is going to now be laning into 369 as he teleports bot. A nice root caller does connect, but there's no follow-up. And mid lane prio earned by AL and a plate. Very nice. So they can still contest this 4 versus 4 as Ala slowly makes his way back towards that top side.
Ala should be 6 off of this wave as well. He's like 1 or 2 minions away. So with that grand challenge, he should be able to sway a fight. That's a route onto JackeyLove. And a cleanse forced out by Croco. And only off of his E as well. This is going to be 2 more grubs picked up. And there we go. That will be all 3 once the spike comes down onto the final one. Tian moves down to the bottom side as 369 will grab a plate. And again, Top Esports try and answer on the opposite side. It's sort of their signature at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
It's also just how League of Legends is played, to be fair.
It is also, yeah, you know, cross maps. Though I will say, as Croco, let's see if he connects. The answer is no. I feel like, Joe, and I'm going to go on a bit of a rant here.
Go on,
not
then.
really, it's not a long one. The art of the cross map, man, it's died in the West, specifically. Not here. LPL,
I feel like it
teams
died
still
in
do it.
LPL at the start of this year, honestly.
It did definitely die at the start of the year, though. I felt like teams were just, you know, grubs came out, everyone wanted to fight over grubs, can't give over grubs. But it's like, you could give up like 3 grubs and go and get 3 plates on the bottom side and stop the AD from farming. That seems like a pretty good idea to me. But yeah, I don't know, cross maps kind of teetered out. I feel like teams are starting to do it now. Kind of, again, just kind of acknowledging what's worth and what's not. I just feel like it dropped out of habits for a while.
Yeah, I agree. Hopefully, for Worlds, we'll see that back in force. Alice, some really nice trades in the 2v1. Keeps on getting those grass procs, but Meiko wants to finish the job. Challenge issued, and Ala gets another grass proc. He's somehow going even in the 2v2, but Tian's here. It's not 2v2 anymore. Riposte ain't enough. And Tian will grab the kill. Let's be honest, Daisy grabbed the kill.
Daisy Tyson picks that one up. Daisy's got hands, man.
Yeah. Seriously.
Really big hands. Draven always gonna
Clap Draven back
gonna clear it.
bin lids.
Yeah.
The Hagrid of Summoner's Rift, if you will.
My goodness. All right. Well, play. Positive Top Esports. They're really denying Ala a lot. He's actually down a full level. 2-3-6-9 right at this moment in time. So it's going to be a little while until we see Ala terrorizing a side lane. Which is definitely very good news for Top Esports because, again, front to back, double front line, double ADC, Ivern as the support. They want as standard a game as you can possibly get.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, really, because on the back of the previous game's draft, you were saying I'd love to see a lane swap from Top Esports. They don't do it in the previous game, but here in game number 3, they went for that lane swap with JackeyLove and Meiko moving top to try and stop Ala having his 1v1, and They're chasing him around the map.
Yeah, they're kind of doing it now, right? They're doing it late. They're just not doing it from the start of the game in this weird way. And it's leaving AL in this kind of strange situation where they're constantly resetting and bouncing between these two lanes. Grubs is now up in 1 minute as well. They're now going to resend Arla back to the top side. But this is actually probably okay for Top Esports. They can either take one play after this next wave as Croco caught by a root, and there's a blast cone here for Meiko.
Oh, True Shot Barrage means there's enough damage to finish the job, and a culling on top. Beautiful setup from Meiko and Tian. Creme the one to get that damage down. Nice pick from Top Esports, and it looked like there was no damage. It looked like, I could see why Croco thought he was safe, but the True Shot Barrage is just too good from JackeyLove, and Shanks pushed away in the mid lane as well.
Yeah, pushed back. Big wave crashing in the bottom side as well. Top Esports, will they look to use that? The answer is no. Meiko's gone back to base. He wants to go set up for the grubs, no doubt. But a lot of prio just about everywhere for Top Esports at the moment, and it's feeling reminiscent of Game 1.
Yeah.
Where the options were very limited for AL, and it gave Top Esports a lot of freedom to basically do whatever they wanted on the map. A lot of that this time, though, really has been from, you know, proactive lane assignments and shutting down these lane matchups 1-to-1. As early on, Arla was really taking advantage of 369. Now, down over 20 CS.
Yeah.
And down a level.
Great stuff coming out from Top Esports. Great map play to try and answer what AL are doing in the draft, to try and set their laners up with more comfortable matchups. And now starting the grubs off. Creme and JackeyLove clearing vision to try and stop AL's ability to contest. No Drake up for 2 minutes as well, so while Top Esports grabbed themselves these grubs with 5 members committed, it was a TP to the bottom side from Shanks as he tries to get some plates. 369 has TP available if 369 wants to be the one to answer and try and catch this wave. I would imagine he will.
Yeah, he's going to base first. Maybe spend a bit of gold.
Oh, he might get died.
Yeah, I don't think he's teleporting down there anymore.
Ala.
Yeah, I mean, whole tower here in trade. Top tower as well is quite high HP, I think. It's still above half HP, and that Draven ult will clear out the wave.
I think Creme just blocked the Draven ult, so it
oh,
wouldn't hit
yeah,
them
you know
anyway.
what? I think you're right.
I think
yeah.
Creme intentionally blocked the Whirling Death in the mid lane to stop that hitting the top wave. So JackeyLove gets to stay on that tower. In the meantime, though, AL showing no signs of stopping as they hit into the tier 2. Root comes down, Stranglethorn's there as well, but 369 buffers it. And a redemption on through from Tian keeps his top laner alive.
Yeah, redemption as well. Very, very important there. Heals him up like 250-ish HP. Ensures that a 369 no threat of being dove, and a big chunk out of that tier 2 tower on the bottom side. And I mean, any split pusher will tell you, you know where your shift is going to be, and it's going to be down here. So getting half of that tower already chunked out for Arla as the game eventually, you know, transpires, is getting a lot of his work already done for him.
Yeah, and make no mistake, while 369 is 30 CS up and has a lot of armor, Arla is still going to be a problem in this side lane. He may be 0-2-0, but this is where Fiora starts to actually impact the game, is in that side lane, getting that pressure down. The question is, can Top Esports be decisive enough on these objectives and not allow Ala that time in the side lane?
It's always going to be kind of the skill check mark here for Top Esports, how they manage this Fiora. All they've really done is delay the inevitable and given themselves a lot of extra time to work with on the rest of the map, right? The 4v4. Well, that 1v1, it will eventually turn, the tide will turn eventually. Arla will very handedly win that 1v1.
Oh, Daisy goes back in and is immediately finished. Magnus Storm as Hope flashes to safety. And now the bullet time in response. Meiko forced the flash, but it's a root onto Shanks. 369 there, but the damage isn't. 369 onto the tower to finish the job. Sacrifices himself, but denies the adoration. JackeyLove survives as Ala tries to do the same.
Goodness me, top laners, same brain right there. Over 200 stacks taken off of Shanks' adoration. It's a huge amount of gold stripped away for a potential cash-in, so 369 understood his role there and was very happy to sacrifice himself for it. Kael
Croco's behind. The Stranglethorns comes out. It's back off a cooldown. And Hope Vision. Oh, we can't get Vision. The ward is in the Ivern brush, not the real one. And Meiko walks away. Tian saves the day with that brush.
It's not even quite that, Joe. When you put an Ivern brush down next to a brush, it basically codes itself as an extension, so the controller just blocks it regardless. So sad. So sad to not get that last water attack off. But look at this root caller on to Hope here. Knock up, True Shot Barrage. The burst is massive. Kael just about limps out, but then another one from Tian. I mean, Shanks just shouldn't be stepping up like that.
Oh, we've seen that a couple of times from Shanks in this series, where he just goes a bit too far forward. Same for Hope. These WE carries. Talked about finding their home. Alet does his damnedest. That shield from Tian. Oh, and then the flash backwards. Tough. Not sure there's much more Alet could have done on that one.
No, I don't think there is. Very unfortunate. Ivern's just a very frustrating champion at times. What can you do? But for now, as the dust settles, it's almost a 2,000 gold lead for Top Esports, about 1.5k. A little bit more.
Yeah.
And they're seeing pretty alright game state-wise, as, again, Ala has been set so far behind for the time being that he's not really someone they have to worry about on this side lane. And if they can group up and start to force, you know, before Ala's even in position to set up on these side lanes, even better.
Yeah. And one of the questions I've got is, when do we see something from Shanks on this Draven? We saw Draven locked in very early on in the draft to try and answer this Lucian from Creme. Second, Ala. He's actually just going to lose the trade against the enemy support. Meiko just destroyed him. That was like half his health. I guess Poppy's support is just a DPS champion. I guess that's just the world we're living in. Zyra takes another chunk from Creme. These shields from Tian are only going to get more annoying. True Shot Barrage through. TES can't quite finish this tower for now. It would appear I have lost Jamada. I'm not sure.
Oh, that's on me. That's on me. I was muted. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, Stranglethorns come down. Kael in trouble. Croco blocks the culling and the redemption. Saves the day. Kael!
Yep.
Just
He's good.
about walks away.
Don't worry, Joe. You're not casting this game solo. Yet. That's, yeah. Top Esports, they're going to be thwarted for now. They're not going to get that tower, but they might just about get this one as more support comes through just off screen. Not quite, though. Another few waves. JackeyLove, we know you want to. Just one more wave, buddy. It's okay.
Yeah. So they hold off for now. 5-2 on the scoreboard. And 2 Drakes for AL. That's the advantage they've got, really. I don't know if he can finish the T. Oh, no! The TP comes through from Creme. Oh, and 369 here as well. Ala is going to go 0, 4, and 0.
Okay.
No, he's not! He gets the Hex Gate! Ala's out of there!
I can't believe it. Cast time on the Q from Creme is just too long. I wonder if he could have auto-attacked him. I think it's about the same. I'm not sure. Either way. Great escape from Ala. Good job. Gets a tower. Mission impossible. He's out. Very good job there. He's finally got a Ravenous Hydra. He's got his first item, Joe. Problem is, big problem, 18 minutes into the game, and it seems like Top Esports have actually made the very conscious decision to just send Creme to deal with the Fiora. And honestly, yeah, that just makes sense. Jackie, buddy, you'll get it soon. I promise, bro. It's gonna happen. All right, just patience is a virtue.
E forwards, Jackie. It's the only answer. E forwards to get the auto on the tower. Go back to your roots. Let's see it. Nah, we'll save that for Game 5 of Finals. We all know it. Deep down, it's the way it's got to be. Us Top Esports fans have seen that before plenty of times. I mean, that's the nature of it, isn't it? Top Esports have to win this series so that they can get to Finals and then lose dramatically in Game number 5 when it all looked so good.
Yeah.
Oh, JackeyLove. He must have used his E aggressively. Hope punishes very happily.
Yeah, very happily. And probably not a lot of life still at the minute for JackeyLove either in the build. Still very early on, so Hope is going to take a sizable chunk.
That's going to be the tower. Hope actually manages to get the tower first after all of that from JackeyLove. Now Meiko on the top side. Feels like Top Esports kind of want to fight right now. Drake's coming up in 30 seconds and Hope is chunked.
JackeyLove, that's how you get it done. Like you mentioned, Hope is chunked. Has a Bloodthirster though, so as long as Shanks stops right-clicking the wave just for a second, Hope can bounce back up. It won't be a problem. Arla up on this top side. It looks like 369 is going to be the one to meet him now, so let's see how that unfolds. As Daisy's also dead before the exchange. It's a big part of Ivern's kit there, and a little bit more breathing room for AL.
I want to quickly mention as well, Shanks, 300 stacks on this Draven, so a good fight here and a kill for Shanks could lead to great things for AL. Top Esports, they do have that gold lead, but it's only 1,000 at this point in the game. 2 items on Tian. That's the advantage that Top Esports are playing with, and they kind of need to get this Drake. It'd be soul point for AL. If they can find the steal, Croco moves on in, but Meiko denies the engage. He answers with losing his own life. No, the heal! And it's Croco that gets the kill. Shanks no cash in. His Creme is caught in the back of the pit. Flash is available. Tien's there as well. Croco gets some plants down. Tien's still staying at the back of the pit. Daisy's second round of the fight.
Oh my god, Daisy!
He's just staying. Okay, bullet time. That's enough to get the flash out from Tian.
Tian is so paid. That is so...
It's ridiculous.
I won't leave until you make me. What he says.
I mean, fair play
all the while,
to him, honestly.
Yeah. Forces out another spell. It's very funny. All the while, top laners were scuffling over jungle camps, I think. Just having a good time up there. But hey, soul point stacking denied. Top Esports do get that Hextech Dragon, so that's really big for them. But also, I mean, Elder Dragon does end games. Do you know who else ends games? Fiora on a side lane. Yeah. So that is also technically less time until Elder spawns. In a way, it's almost kind of good. Again, remember, I'm Anyone's Legends attorney for today, so despite not getting soul point and it sucking that they're still 2 dragons away from soul, honestly, there could be worse fates. There could be worse fates.
I would challenge the allegations that this was good for AL by saying Top Esports got Drake. That's great. That's great for them. I will say, Tian having a great game on this Ivern. I'm a little bit worried about the lack of frontline on the side of AL. Like later on, if we do end up in a bit of a front-to-back style scrap, Meiko can deny the engages from Kael. I do feel like the Fiora really is the significant win condition from the side of AL. Oh, hang on, Creme's walking straight into Ala. Ala wants to find his combo. That's 3 vitals, gets the 4th. The heal is there, but so are the whole team from Top Esports. Creme will finish the job. Riposte comes on through, but it's just not enough.
Yep, and there's no setup here for AL to cross map for a Baron or even, you know, threaten it. Good job, Top Esports again. You know, that side lane, it sucks for Ksante, but you know what you can just do? Send the other mid laner, send the other solo lane to it. Yeah. In this case, Creme is more than capable. In this case, got a lot of help. As he did face check Arla, probably would have died by himself. His Hope's in a bit of trouble now.
Hope knocked up, dodges away from the root, has to flash the wall eventually. Meiko charge forward to JackeyLove. Finds his mark. The sniper from the bottom lane for Top Esports, and Croco forced a flash as well. Out of nowhere, Top Esports find huge advantages.
Yep, and they're going to get this tier 2. The map becomes more and more suffocated for AL. I must be very excited about seeing this Fiora pick. 0-4-0.
Yeah.
It's not that Arla's played a bad game. I'd say that's more on Top Esports have really done a fantastic job at denying him any opportunity of playing the game.
Yeah.
At almost any major conjuncture.
Just never let the duelist have a duel. Just send 4 people every time. Feels like AL then try and move up elsewhere on the map. Hope is trying to push out mid. And it's a fantastic punish from Top Esports as they just all sprint mid to find it. JackeyLove snipes him with the true shot barrage in the queue. I mean, it's just great gameplay from Top Esports.
Through and through. Let's get a look at the replay. 1v1, no mid lane pick. Last cone. He doesn't quite connect on the slow, neither does the E onto the wall, but again, the knockup is enough. Puts Hope in a awkward position. True shot barrage. Blocked by barrier. But another Q connect mechanically played just about as well as it could have been from JackeyLove.
And you know, these kind of compositions for top esports we've seen coming in. You know, Ivern has a history in the LPL. Hang on a second, Croco's caught. Croco's down. Kael might not get out with his life either. As Creme, he may have lost his Tristana win streak, but he's looking to set one up on Lucian instead.
Indeed he is. Another pick comes through. That's jungle support. That should be Baron. Arla's also on the top side. He's not even on the side he probably would prefer to be on in this kind of situation. Teleported up here out of base, so what is he really going to be able to do? I think the answer is nothing. Going to have to back up, reset. And that's just going to be top esports stamping their authority.
Yeah.
All over game number 3.
This one's been kind of painful to watch, honestly. If you're a fan of AL, like, I wanted this to be a closer series, but it feels a lot like game number 1, where top esports have just been in control. And AL, the longer it's gone on, the harder it has been for them to contest anything. It's been 2 Drakes back-to-back, as well as the Baron for top esports. And honestly, Tian's Ivern is kind of nuts, no? Like, this is his 7th game on the champion, and it'll be his 6th win if they finish it off.
Done a pretty good job with it so far, to say the least. And again, it's just another one of those champions, like you were about to allude to. Ivern in the LPL has a bit of a stigma, shall we say, to be as positive as I can possibly be.
It's never been that good for us, let's be honest. No, it's been a bit tragic. It's not. Yeah,
no longer. Been a bit poor. But this game has been a very good demonstration about why Ivern can be such an impressive champion in those kind of, or these kind of setups. And also, to very quickly remove ourselves from the stakes of this game in the series. Remember, if AL lose, that's JDG in regionals, don't forget. Top esports winning is JDG's biggest hope right now. Who would have thought?
This matchup,
JDG rooting for top esports.
This matchup essentially decides the top 6 for regionals. JDG have 50 points from Spring. Right now, AL are on 40 championship points. If they get a win here, they can make regionals instead of JDG. But a loss here is enough to send them home. This will end the year for AL in top esports. The gatekeepers of the top 4, the gatekeepers of the regionals. And look to break down the gates here of AL space.
Gonna do just that. Kick down the doors. Off the hinges. Look for a mid lane siege now, I'd imagine. Arla's doing his best to keep the wave really shoved up, but he's going to have to yield this position as the rest of the top esports members rotate over. Baron's still got 40 seconds left. How much of a meal? Oh my god, Croco!
Oh, what a pick from top esports! JackeyLove dives in to get that final ticket damage down. Hope denied his ultimate as top esports break the base. What a pick to finish the game there. Beautiful little combo.
2 inhibs now. Dragon a long ways away. Top esports, realistically, they're probably just going to all base and just run top. Set up on the top side. You don't really care about Dragons, just use the inhibitor pressure to close out the game. I think that's going to be the easiest path to a very quick game 4. And AL, I don't see a way back in for them. I don't think their draft can enable them a way back in. As Croco just steps 1 step too far forward. Blown up by Creme, and then a single Q. About 400 of the remaining health bar of Croco. Kills him off by, it was Creme that did
Creme doing
share of that.
Yeah, definitely. 1-0 and 6 on the Lucian. Fantastic game from him. And again, just fantastic game from the whole squad, really, from top esports. And it does feel like this is one of those teams where every game feels like a team win, you know? They're all such exceptional players. Whirling Death to try and clear the way, but there's a cannon there. Kael tries to be somewhat on the front line, but he's just not tanky enough for Creme. Is 2v1ing Hope Croco on the backside. 3 inhibs down. Top esports are done with game number 3. They were offended by the audacity of AL winning game number 2, and they are not having any more of it. JackeyLove finds another attack. It's rage splitting on the bottom side of the map. He knows it's over. AL all know that this one is over. And Top Esports find match point with a dominant game.
Very dominant. Another win on the blue side. Wins have only come from the blue side so far tonight. And I wonder where this Anyone's Legend side are going to end up for game 4. As a, complete domination. The Ivern pick really broke apart a lot of the plays that AL tried to step forward and make.
I mean, pretty heartbreaking loss there for AL because that didn't feel like they had any agency later on into the game. We'll see if they can change things up. I assume they will swap back to the blue side, and that is definitely where they've looked stronger, but I'm going to be honest, even if they win on the blue side, they'll have to go red side game 5. They've got to change something. Something's got to give. Top Esports looking like a top team once again as they finish out game 3. We're going to jump into a